Sean Diddy Combs' heinous actions with minors unleashed. Sean Diddy Combs' court proceedings have taken another big blow as more horrifying allegations surface. A Texas law firm is now representing approximately 50 of the rapper's victims who claim to have been mistreated by Diddy and his contacts. Tony Busby, the firm's attorney, said on Instagram that they had been requested by another law practice to represent more than 50 victims who had been sexually assaulted. This brave group of people includes both men and women. Many were minors when the abuse occurred. Some of these courageous people reported the incidents to the police, while others did not, he wrote in the description. Each story is gut-wrenching and sad. The alleged acts took place at hotels, private homes, and the infamous P. Diddy freak-off events. The lawyer stated that he expects the number of alleged victims to grow as the case progresses and that many other individuals will be implicated. Combs is now incarcerated at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn after being arrested at his hotel on September 16th. The indictment came after the musician failed to appear at his court sessions. In a New York complaint filed last November, the rapper was accused of kidnapping, drugging, and coercing women into sexual activities, primarily at his infamous parties, with the use of firearms and threats of violence. During a prior raid on Combs' home, almost 1,000 bottles of lubricant were seized. Busby indicated that his next step would be to hold a press conference early next week to share these findings with the nation. Combs' representatives have already refuted all allegations against him and did not respond to Busby's tweet. Sean Diddy Combs, a hip-hop entrepreneur, has been accused of drugging and sexually abusing a woman in another New York case. The 12th and most recent complainant claims that after becoming pregnant, she was harassed by one of his associates into having an abortion and later miscarried. Mr. Combs was arrested last week and is now in federal detention on allegations of racketeering and sex trafficking. He continues to refute any charges of criminal activity. The BBC has contacted Mr. Combs' lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, for comment on the latest civil complaint. In the most recent case filed against him in New York, a woman named Jane Doe claims 4 years of relentless physical and sexual abuse that began in late 2020. According to the lawsuit, she met the rapper, who paid for her airfare, at an overseas location, and the two began seeing each other regularly shortly after. In her civil case, the woman claims Mr. Combs drugged her and then performed sexual activities on her without her consent while she was asleep. Mr. Combs filmed the sexual encounters without the woman's permission, and he coerced her into group intercourse with others, according to the legal complaint. In one case, alleged to have occurred in July 2022, the lawsuit recounts a lady being forced to ingest the drug ketamine, which caused her to black out and lose consciousness intermittently throughout the night. According to the report, the woman discovered she was pregnant shortly after. According to the lawsuit, after the woman told Mr. Combs of her pregnancy, an associate of Mr. Combs bullied her into having an abortion. The woman later miscarried, according to the report. The lady also claims that Mr. Combs made threatening comments that made her fear for her safety, that he tracked her movements and phone calls, and that he prevented her from working so he could pay her an allowance instead. Nobody is above the law. Fame and wealth do not protect Sean Diddy Combs from serious allegations of sex trafficking and abuse, the woman's lawyers, Joseph L. Ciaccio and Marina Pully, told the BBC. Mr. Combs has faced a series of allegations in the past year, including a lawsuit filed by his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura in November alleging physical and sexual assault. Mr. Combs resolved Ms. Ventura's claim for an unknown sum. Federal prosecutors have accused the rapper of creating a criminal enterprise in which he abused, threatened, and coerced women and others around him to fulfill his sexual desires, protect his reputation, and conceal his conduct. The rapper has pleaded not guilty to all 3 felony allegations against him. The BBC has contacted Mr. Combs' lawyer for comment on the allegations in the latest case. Mr. Combs has rejected all charges made in the preceding 11 lawsuits.